cuts first came out from the governor's proposal, my wife and I, our two oldest grandchildren, go to St. Francis Xavier Catholic School in Buffalo. And we knew what impact that would have on their family because they use busing and the other services all the time. But that's not why we are against these proposals. These proposals are just flat out wrong for Minnesota values. Many people, when they talk about these cuts, are talking, these are cuts to non-public schools. And that is wrong. That is not what these cuts are to. These cuts are to services that every student in Minnesota deserves. But if you have people who are trying to argue the point that these cuts, that public schools should not receive tax dollars from Minnesota, here is something for you to consider, and as so many of our students have already spoken about. This proposal does not save the state of Minnesota money. The average non-public school student receives around $1,000 in aid from the state, whereas a public school student receives over $9,000 from the state. If just 5% of the students who go to non-public schools, if their families decide we can't afford this anymore and they have to move over to a public school, we have saved zero. If more than that switch, we are costing the state money. So this is not about saving the state money. This is an attack on people who have values that they don't feel are being met in our public schools. For being here. Like I said, anyone willing to listen today, you are sending the message for the values you believe in, and I hope they are all listening to you today. Thank you.